Alright, well, time for our last video before I take a break. So, this is This Side of Paradise. Enterprise is to a Federation colony on Omicron Ceti 3. Shortly after the colony was founded some years prior, it was discovered that the planet was bathed in birthloid rays, a lethal form of radiation. Having lost communications with the colony recently and fearing the colonists' decease, the Federation wants the Enterprise crew to recover the colonists and their equipment. The ship arrives in orbit, and Captain Kirk, along with First Officer Spock, Chief Medical Officer Leonard McCoy, and others beam down to the colony. They're surprised to find the colonists all alive and well in a paradise-like setting. Later, Elias Sandoval welcomes them and explains that they only lost communications due to equipment failure. Sandoval and the other colonists allow McCoy to examine them, who not only sees them in perfect health, but is surprised to find Sandoval has a healthy appendix, despite having it removed before leaving for the colony. Kirk orders the away team to learn more about the colony. They notice the lack of any animal life, including those brought with them to the colony, but Sandoval explains away by saying that they have adopted vegetarianism to sustain themselves. That's actually not bad, really. Spock encounters Leela Kolomi, a colonist who had fallen in love with him many years prior. Kolomi offers to show Spock how the colonists have survived, and takes him to a field of strange flowers. The flowers expel spores that cover Spock. Despite his emotional training as a Vulcan, he becomes elated and romantic with Kolomi. Kolomi and Spock bring some of the flowers back to the colony, and the other members of the away team are affected by the spores. Kirk manages to elude these, and observes the strange behavior of his crew. Kirk returns to the ship while the rest of the crew, exposed to the flowers brought aboard by others, are staging a peaceful mutiny and have abandoned the ship. Lieutenant Uhura has sabotaged the communications system to prevent contact with Starfleet. Kirk is soon the last one aboard, and inadvertently gets covered by the spores. He too prepares to abandon the ship, but as he is about to beam down to the planet, he recounts his Starfleet career, causing him to think violent thoughts. The spores die out, and the effect on Kirk disappears. Recognizing that the flowers and their spores wither in the presence of violent emotions, Kirk lures Spock back aboard the Enterprise and goads him into anger. The powerful emotion of Spock's Vulcan mind and the spores hold on him. Spock studies the flowers and devises the means to bring the crew to their senses by broadcasting a subsonic frequency through their communicators. Kolomi beams aboard to find Spock no longer affected by the spores, and insists he return with her. Spock refuses, but allows her to have one more romantic interlude. Kirk and Spock use a subsonic signal to restore the rest of the crew, and then quickly help the remaining colonists come to their senses. As the colony is still in danger of the Berthold radiation, Kirk agrees to help Sandoval and the other colonists find a new planet to recolonize. As they leave orbit with the colonists safely aboard, Kirk asks Spock about his experiences on the planet, to which Spock replies that for the first time in his life, he was happy. Aww. Anyway, let's look at the production elements of the story. Writer Jerry Soule had his name replaced with the pseudonym Nathan Butler after D.C. Fontana wrote the original draft entitled The Way of the Spores. This was Frank Overton's last performance before his death on April 24, 1967, less than 2 months after the episode aired. The shot of the empty Enterprise bridge was reused in the Star Trek The Next Generation episode Relics to depict Scotty's holodeck recreation of his old ship. Nice. Well, a pretty enjoyable episode, I'd say. So, I give This Side of Paradise 3 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me a little later as we meet the devil in the dark. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.